If you're not Danny, Danny's the one who dooms them to a fiery death.
Well, I sometimes doom them to a fiery death, and then I feel bad and then revert. Right?
Right? That's what I got.
No, Danny's the one who dooms them to a fiery death. I doom them to a fiery death, and then I feel bad about it and revert. Let's go. We are going to turn on fine control mode and handle this thing like the dental docile whale she is, because I fear that the cargo,
docile whale.
I fear that the cargo inside the craft, which you will see if we again ever manage to get off, is shifting in flight and is thus forcing our nose down inexplicably.
If you ever manage to get off,
shut up. Shut up.
I'm sorry. That's just how I was raised. To make bad jokes at other people's.
Flaps up. Flaps up.
Flap, 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 flap.
We will now proceed upwards in a very tightly controlled, careful manner.
Yes. Maybe. Perhaps. And then suddenly KSP gets weather and a lightning bolt hits the plane.
They put in weather and updated my game midway through purely to fuck with me.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. No other reason
Why can't I move the camera? 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 Can I move the camera? Can I please move the camera? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. We are having problems here. Serious ones. Okay. 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 Autopilot has continued flying during the unplanned camera deviation.
Is it
flying pretty well?
Is it actually being controlled from inside the cargo hold?
Yes, it is, because well, okay, no, not really, because there's a drone core up here that's technically the one flying the plane. But the thing is that the game makes no distinction between that. So Bill is sitting in the cargo bay in the spacecraft, waiting to be deployed, and the only IVA view available is in there.
I see.
So there's not much of a view for obvious reasons.
I see.
Okay, we're gonna...
Skeleton bomb! This
this thing can do 5G turns. Despite...
Wow.
That's actually pretty impressive.
5G turns.
In a transport aircraft. But what the fuck? Is the cameraman having a stroke? I can't move the camera! There we go. Jesus, what is going on?
It just rolled to the side?
Yeah, I switched to orbital mode somehow. And as I'm sure you know, orbital mode is generally side-on to the planet, because you're normally orbiting side-on relative to the planet. Anyway, this launcher is loosely based off the Pegasus system, and the Pegasus system was basically Pegasus system.
I know, I'm just being stupid.
The Pegasus system was a rocket that was designed to ride inside of an aircraft before, initially underneath the belly of B-52, up to a high altitude and airspeed, at which point it would launch and catapult itself into the great beyond. Using
sort of like what Spaceship One does.
Yes. Very similar. Or the X-15, which did a similar thing. There was also experiments with deploying ICBMs out the back of a transport plane, just like this one. They would open up the back cargo ramp, kick the missile out of the back, let it drop down underneath the plane, and then fire the engine, shooting it off out from underneath the plane like a daisy cutter. It was it worked, surprisingly enough. It was one proposed method to launch ICBMs that could not be destroyed on the ground.
I'm just thinking kicked out the plane.
Well, mechanically, but it's functionally no different to somebody putting their leg on it and pushing.
I know, but still, I'm just imagining somebody going up and kicking the frickin' thing in the pants.
I have no idea what the overspeed rating in this plane is, and with this many engines, we might very well exceed safe rated airspeed, because we have no idea what it is. So it is quite possible that our wings will rip off in a glorious conflagration here.
How fast are you going?
4.2 meters per second, which, let's check far, is about Mach 1.5 in a transport aircraft.
Mach 1.5 in a wide-wing transport. Oh my god.
And the equivalent of a C-130 Hercules, although granted with modern construction and careful planning and about 10
and
engines.
really poor physics.
Climbing through Mach 1.7. Check intake air. We are good on intake air. We can keep climbing for quite a ways yet.
We are good to go.
Thing is that the real danger is right here. If we get too fast down here in the thick air, then that's when your wings rip off. But if we can get up to the thin air, we can go as fast as we damn well please, as long as we can avoid flaming out the engines. If we can, as long as you can just keep flying on that feather point, just where the engines are barely getting enough air to work, you can go really fast, and that's what we want to do here. We want to give the missile as much possible sideways momentum as we can, because that's the entire point of the exercise.
Is to
carefully nose
put it in a rocket, put it in a plane, go as fast with the plane as you can, and then fire the rocket out of the plane.
It's essentially like making the launch pad go sideways really fast.
The plane is the first stage.
Yes. And because it doesn't have to carry fuel oxidizer, it just has to carry fuel. Yeah. Now, I have no idea how this is going to work. I don't even remember the hotkeys. Let's see if we can figure out what they are. Okay. Deploy.
Oh, there we go.
Prepare. Go.
Fire!
We are having a control issue. Oh, no, never mind. No. We are good. We are green to go.
What was the control issue?
We were pitching up way too quickly. There was a bit of a thrust imbalance. But up here, there's actually not much atmospheric interference. So we are actually going just fine.
Good.
Holy crap, that was actually a really successful launch.
Yay!
I'm unable to move the camera. Okay, there we go. I had to jiggle the middle mouse button to get the camera to move.
Jiggle.
Jiggle, wiggle.
Jiggle. Wiggle those sexy butts.
This is a very small rocket, but the thing is that most of our Delta V has already been provided for us by the plane.
Exactly.
So we don't actually this is actually an extremely efficient way to get to orbit.
Right.
You can't take much to orbit, but it's very efficient in delivering small payloads up there.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Except, of course, this being KSP, that plane is about to crash into the ocean spectacularly, almost certainly.
Having a bit of SEP issues, RCS. We gotta get down to 45 degrees. There we go. We gotta get out of the atmosphere now before we take too much losses from drag. Okay, good. Our apoapsis will take us out of the atmosphere now.
Yeah! Outside the atmosphere! Suck it, atmosphere! We're going to space!
We don't need you anymore.
Are you just using solid or
the
liquid?
first two stages are solid because in order to get out of the atmosphere real quick, you pretty much need the high thrust. The real Pegasus was an SRB-powered rocket with a liquid final first stage. Third stage. So this is actually one of the best Pegasus recreations I think I've ever done.
I see.
And so now the capsule is in actually a very high and very impressive orbit. Wow, this is actually doing beyond my wildest expectations.
Bravo!
Oh, that's right. I forgot to put batteries on here. Either that or they ripped off. Let's extend our panels. We're outside the atmosphere. We're pretty much outside the atmosphere already anyway. To be fair, we don't have that many electrical needs. We're not running a probe core up here or anything. This is a career mode game. This isn't a career mode game, so we don't need any science for transmitting. I cannot believe the launch system worked that well. I was expecting there to be some problem with the doors going at that high of a speed. I was expecting the SRB jettison motors to fail or the rocket to tumble end over end. But no, that went about as smooth as I was hoping it would.
It almost tumbled end over end, but you got it under control.
Yeah, but up there, like, despite the high speed, we had an RCS system and good SAS compared to a fairly small pencil-like rocket. So it was easy to fold the thing over. I was worried that the lack of control fins would mean that we had issues with that, right?
Yep.
Activate the liquid fuel engine and prepare for apoapsis. Now, if we only had some method to actually control it, the Kegasus launcher would go...
Kegasus.
Yeah, you add K to every word in Kerbal Space Program. It's not the Pegasus, it's the Kegasus.
Kegasus case concher. You said every word. I take those literally. You should know that by now.
And I love you for it.
Yay!
Engage prograde gently. We have a half tank of liquid fuel up here with a fairly small payload. We could go very far with this. I should have been taking screenshots on the way up, actually.
Oh, that would have been
save this
sweet.
thing as a recording, though.
Then you can take screenshots after the fact. You really have to.
Well, if I did it once, I can do it again. That launch was
true.
so smooth and error-free, I can't imagine not being able to ever do it again.
Well, sometimes you get lucky.
That is the first time I've made a rocket, an SRB-launched plane rocket, and had it work so well. I cannot get over this. This is ridiculous. I have so much fuel up here with this little tiny spacecraft. This could be used to send anybody to space really easily. Now, if I had the Mark IV fuselage system, which it has not been updated for this version yet, I'd be able to make a size 2 3-seater version fairly easily too. Actually, I might need size 2 SRBs. I'm sure someone's got those kicking around somewhere. Oh well, let's go to the moon.
Let's go to the moon.
We're not going to land on the moon, obviously. That's not really possible with what we have. Well, okay, it is possible, but it's, yeah, it's going to be a bit problematic.
Go to moon. To moon.
The moon, comrade.
To moon, comrade. Comrade Bronovich.
Trying to plan a free return trajectory here. The moon's not being very cooperative.
That doesn't get you too bad. Ish.
Oh, here we go.
I see what you're doing. You're basically trying to fire a trajectory that gets you to the moon,
Yeah,
gives you a flyby, and then gives you a flyby on Kerbin.
Yeah, pretty much, so that I can fairly easily just drop back in. This is also something you do in real life if you want your astronauts to be able to return without incident if something goes wrong, and with a minimum of fuss and delta V.
Exactly. You just set everything up so that when you
want to
fly...
pass in front of the moon such that the moon actually doesn't catapult you out of the system, it catapults you back towards Kerbin. That requires, instead of hitting the right of it and going around the right, which will add, the moon will add to your velocity there. If you go in front of the moon, going right to left, clockwise around it, it will actually slow you down and result in a trajectory like this that's actually closer to Earth than when you started. It's a bit rounder and less eccentric.
Cool. Let's do a moon flyby.
This is something Scott Manley taught me.
Cool.
He does some awesome videos. He is a very skilled KSP pilot.
All of them, their skills.
Then again, he's been playing it a long time. He's actually a professional astronomer.
A professional astronomy.
He's a professional at astronomy. I think my brain got crosswired and tried to say that instead.
He's a professional. He's a professional astronomy.
He is the science of astronomy.
Yes.
He's Scott Manley, and he's the science of astronomy.
He's a professional astronomy.
We don't really need all this RCS fuel, so let's dump it to make ourselves lighter. Might as well use it to help speed us up.
Yeah, might as well.
I was expecting to have to use more to keep the ship to go up straight in the atmosphere. Not quite, as it turns out.
It's not too bad, then.
Nope. I applied a bit too much thrust.
Well, you got a great return.
Yeah, we did. We basically just don't even really have to nudge ourselves, but the thing is that I do want to be a bit closer to the moon than that. Fortunately, is there any way we can finagle this such that we can get closer to the moon without increasing without, going away from Kerbin? In real life, they generally do this by planning their launch window very well.
They don't retrofit it.
Yeah. To a certain extent, they don't wait for the perfect window, but they do plan it well ahead of time, right? They do try to get the best one they can.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's through the moon. I don't want to do that.
Crash into the moon.
That's not exactly what we were signing up for.
They knew exactly what they were signing up for. If they read the bottom of the 5,362nd page.
We'll just content ourselves with a far-off pass.
That's not too bad.
Be enough to get the high moon orbit things. So
almost in capture.
Stay on target. Lag.
Boom. There you are.
We are in Mun SOI, passing on the dark side of the moon. And we get to witness a self-caused lunar eclipse.
Ooh. Brilliant!
With the Earth off in the background. I gotta take a picture of that.
No, that's Kerbin.
Well, it's the Earth we came from.
It's
Earth is in the
Kerbin.
groundy stuff, not Earth, capital E Earth.
It's Kerbin!
Now we just need to apply a pitiful amount of delta V, and we will be coming inside Kerbin's atmosphere. 30
Beautiful.
minutes. This is how you make your trip far more efficient. Free return trajectories that take you close to the planet.
Yeah!
The problem is that you want to get really close to the moon, because thanks to the Oberth effect, it'll be much more efficient for lunar transfer if you get it really close to the moon and do your braking burn to get into lunar orbit, like literally just on top, just in front of the moon, like as low as you can get. But as you can see, balancing that with wanting to get back to Kerbin from a flyby, well,
tricky.
The thing is though is that if you're going for a flyby, if you don't have enough fuel for a flyby, you don't really concern about orbiting anyway, so don't even bother. Just going for the high moon orbit stuff. But then again, if you're trying to get science for low moon orbit stuff, that's a bit problematic.
Problematic.
Falling towards the planet.
Falling
I'm
through
free
space.
falling.
'Cause I'm free. Free
Oh
falling.
god, we're coming in a bit steeper than I thought we were. Oh well, thank god we don't have deadly reentry installed.
As long as you don't have to litho brake.
I don't think that's going to be necessary. This little Mark 1 pod is pretty tough.
No need to litho brake.
interface.
Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
Kerbin, hot. Coming in just south of the Western Desert.
Yeah, nice. I think. I haven't quite gotten enough.
Whoosh. G build up. 5, 7, 9, 11, 15. Bill doesn't care. He doesn't care about G's.
The Kerbals are astoundingly G tolerant, aren't they?
They're little green men that are 12 centimeters tall and somehow have a brain that's capable of thinking. I honestly don't think, like, if they're little plant-based things, I can see them tolerating an incredible amount of G's, actually.
Yeah. Look, he's more worried after the absurd G-forces.
I know. Now he's not. He's wow. To be fair,
Whoa, air.
You're kind of worried about then whether the parachutes will deploy.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a concern, as I'm sure you understand.
I am. Parachute deploying.
Parachute deployment. Boop. Another 15 Gs, but only a pulse.
Pulse. Oomph, oomph, oomph. I'm weird.
Bill's adjusting his helmet. And he's looking very happy.
Yeah, happy.
Wonder what would happen if I cut his chute. Would he look scared? I need to experiment with this. Yeah, look, I can spin his chute. I can spin him around, and he's still just fine.
Yay! Danny, 2468, whatever his name is. You know
Whatever
that guy,
the
right?
numbers are. I don't know what his numbers are.
Yeah, Danny and then numbers. Do you remember his thing he did with the intakeology?
Yes.
I love his little water crawler thing. So relaxing. As he cuts to the inside view.
I'm gonna end the stream here. But yes, that was fun.
Yay!
You are hyper.
Yes.